Our second guest for today is lawyer and activist and former Dean Tony La Viña. Sir, magandang hapon and we hope you're doing well.
Magandang hapon.
Hi,
Okay naman.
Dean.
Good afternoon, Dean.
Magandang hapon din.
Magandang hapon sa lahat.
Okay, you want to start? Oh, no.
Go ahead.
Well, Dean, some questions that people have been asking, of course, among other things, how the former president can take his oath of office all the way in the ICC in The Hague, and also whether a person or an official elected, though he may be, can take his position if he cannot prove he can govern physically. Kasi nga, di ba, if you're there, you don't have internet, can you be...
He's given access to a computer daw.
Intranet.
Intranet? Walang
That's internet. He's not
Okay.
able to go on Facebook.
Okay.
Ano lang, limited to communicating to his lawyers.
Okay.
Lang yung pwedeng gawin sa kanyang computer na ibibigay sa kanya.
Yun din. So quite
Yung
ano.
oath-taking, theoretically, yung oath-taking may solusyon. Kasi may Philippine Embassy naman, pwede siya dalhin doon. He can take his oath before any authorized official, so pwedeng ambassador. VP Sara herself is an authorized official, can swear people in. A barangay captain from Davao, they can fly him in. Senator Padilla, di ba? So, pero ang kailangan mangyari doon, dalawa. Pumayag ang Philippine government, di ba? Which parang absurd kung pumayag sila kasi then ang dami-dami ng baka si Teves, kung nanalo si Teves, di ba? Sa East Timor, he will also ask the same favor, di ba? Siyempre, it's a very bad precedent that you allow someone to take an oath of office in similar circumstances like this, di ba? And pumayag yung ICC. Again, importante yun kasi may security issues. And of course, the whole notion of the ICC, di ba? Charges, di ba? Na napaka-serious. And then you will allow anyone who won an election to actually take oath, leave the detention facility. Kailangan kasi for oath-taking, kailangan Filipino soil. Di ba? So kailangan sa embassy. Hindi pwedeng sa ICC facility itself. Hindi pwedeng sa anywhere in the Netherlands. No, kailangan dun mismo sa embassy gagawin yung para sa Philippine soil.
So Dean, wala pang ganyang klaseng nangyari whatsoever before. Wala pang ganyang incident.
Similar like this. I can almost bet na may mga officials noon na other offices, lalo na executive branch, na ginagawa nila yung kanilang oath of office sa embassy or sa consulate, di ba? Lalo na if you're the DFA and you're not in the country and you're assigned somewhere and you're given a new assignment and you have to take an oath of office, pwede naman talaga gawin yon. So hindi yan siya unique, but yung elected official, that's very unique na first time yun. So maano yung precedent na yun.
Dean, before you leave that part, Dean, if I may ask lang, requirement ko talaga na it has to be on Philippine soil. I asked that kasi in 2020 or 2021, yung Cooperative Development Authority or CDA naglabas ng memo allowing for remote swearing in because of the pandemic. Of course, these are not elective officials, but it's a government bureau, it's a government office, and they allowed for that in their particular case. I'm wondering lang if
that can be a precedent.
if it's a hard and fast rule.
Yeah, but ang context ng remote na yun is everyone was in the Philippines, ha? Di ba hindi mo naman sinasabi na sa Pilipinas ka hindi I mean, marami naman even yung yung lawyers that year sa 2021 yung pumasa ng
The bar.
the bar. They were allowed to do that. But yun, I mean, in the first place yun. At pangalawa, di ba, yung context ng kanong policies na nasa Pilipinas ka, wala ka sa abroad, di ba? But, as I said, may solution yan, pero sa rin kong mahirap siya i-implement. Yung pangalawang mas mahirap, kasi assumption into office requires physical presence, di ba? Assumption to office. Assumption to office kasi, ibig sabihin, ikaw na pipirma ng mga dokumento, ng mga ordinansya,
Kontrata,
'di ba, ng mga appointments. Hindi mo pwedeng gawin 'yan outside of the office. Kahit ngayon, kahit outside Manila, let's say Davao, pupunta ka sa Manila, you cannot sign a document as mayor of Davao in Manila. Kailangan may OIC ka sa Davao. Kailangan ka may acting official sa Davao, di ba? Kaya every time, di ba, any secretary, any mayor leaves the country, leaves the city or the office, di ba? Nagpapa-appoint siya ng OIC at lahat. Ang president, siguro ang exemption lang na yan, only because the president's directives are almost always signed by the executive secretary. Di ba?
Yeah.
By the office president, ganyan, by executive secretary. So that's why the president, when he's traveling abroad, wala siyang ina-appoint na OIC, di ba? Or ano, kasi meron namang nagpipirma on his behalf in the Philippines.
And,
So,
Di,
Dean, anong mangyayari
magkakatagalan yan di ba? Paano magiging status niyan? Kasi halimbawa, expected naman natin na magiging officer in charge yung vice mayor na anak ni President Duterte. Pero kung sobrang tagal na, pwede bang matagalang OIC? Can he be deemed incapacitated and kailangan palitan?
Una, sa oath of office, kailangan in 6 months from election,
Yes.
from proclamation. Di ba? Yun yung muna. Pero nakalagay naman doon, unless there are circumstances beyond your control.
Yeah.
So medyo, di ba, may leeway doon.
Oo.
It's up to the DILG. Now, ang question ngayon is, gaano katagal pwede ang isang interim acting
OIC.
official, di ba? Ang DILG will determine that and ang kanyang isa lang yung kanyang batayan diyan, the good of the service, what's good for the public, di ba? So the moment yung hindi na nagwo-work yung OIC, yung acting mayor, may mga bagay talaga kasi na hindi pwedeng acting mayor o OIC, di ba, na magbibigay. Usually like appointments na long term, hindi pwede yun, di ba? Mga short-term appointments, pwede yun na ganyan. Signing of big ordinances, budget, di ba? Then the DILG can determine, hindi ka na pwede. And therefore, you're deemed to have vacated your, and the vice mayor will now be the mayor.
So DILG din ang magdedetermine kung succession na
Oo.
kung magsasucceed na yung vice mayor at hindi na siya
Yeah.
OIC lang.
Based on whether or not public service is affected.
Pero din that's pretty
Discretion
subjective,
na ng
di ba?
DILG o kailangan may magpetisyon? Does a petition have to be filed?
No. Ito proprio pwedeng gawin ng DILG.
Motu proprio? Okay.
Pero nga
Kasi
din,
the DILG supervises local governments eh.
Opo.
Kung wala nang kung hindi na nasilbihan yung mga tao, then they can come in.
Pero din, that sound pretty subjective yung for the good of the service. What
Yeah.
about in the case, for example, the Dutertes, very, very, very popular in Davao City. You saw the results of the elections in 2025, even though the former president is not even here and was not able to campaign. So
By
you might
landslide.
have that argument from that end na parang, ito gusto namin how would that work?
Yan for the good of the service means na hindi yan subjective. That's about whether or not yung acting mayor is
Can
signature
function.
enough. Di ba? Are there functions na hindi niya nagagawa dahil hindi siya ang mayor? Pag na-determine na yan ganyan, di ba? Na certain things, di ba? Hindi ako masyado sure kung which of those things are going to be the di ba? May limits kasi yung acting mayor ng pwedeng gawin. I think appointments, temporary lang yung appointments niya. So all the appointments will have to be temporary. Baka may effect na yan sa service kasi walang permanent department heads, di ba? So kailangan i-assess ng DILG whether public service is being affected.
Yeah.
Hindi yan dependent sa mga tao what the people want.
And then if we understood it correctly, Dean, so let's say si Baste Duterte moves up, becomes the mayor, interim mayor. yung vice mayoral seat goes to the councilor who won the highest number of votes
Councilor.
naman. Is that correct? Which in this case is actually
no. Only, walang vice mayor habang acting mayor siya and OIC mayor siya. Di ba? But when he becomes mayor, yes. Then the number one councilor becomes the vice mayor.
which in this
But
case is actually
acting ka lang, wala kang wala kang number two,
okay.
walang umaakyat.
oo. Only-
Acting ka lang eh.
Only when you've been made official
When you
mayor.
made now the mayor, then which is actually a grandson, di ba?
Oo.
Pumatay.
I was just gonna point that out. Actually, the councilor who won the highest number of votes is also a Duterte, yung grandson ni Digong, who is Rigo Duterte. So, it's all in the family.
Isagutin din.
Ano magagawa
So
natin,
short.
di ba? Kami kong friends sa Davao. Many of them are very intelligent. They support Duterte. Hindi ko na, I don't lose sleep over that anymore and I don't fight them, di ba?
Oo.
Kasi they're very good people and very bright people. So, they just have a different view of things than I have, than many of us have. Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
Sorry, natawa ano?
so that's pretty clear, no? So the oath has to be taken 6 months from the proclamation. Na-proclaim na siya, so that's the first step. That's the first step. We're waiting now for this oath taking.
But Dean, walang designated survivor.
Wala naman designated survivor dito. Actually, sa local government, may assumption of office ng, as it goes on.
There is no scenario wherein their opponent, si Carlo Nograles, could take over.
Wala.
No.
Kasi
Wala.
hindi naman siya disqualification eh. In fact, the disqualification depende rin sa not necessarily will the loser be qualified. Depende kasi kung whether stray vote siya considered or hindi siya considered as candidate at all.
So din
But
basically,
wala naman, no question naman Duterte won these elections.
so din basically the DILG has the authority to to step in.
Replace.
Yeah. So dito na naman makikita natin, di ba? I think on this, on impeachment, on many things, dito natin makikita whether President Marcos has the leadership qualities, di ba, to make hard decisions for what is at stake, di ba?
What do you think he should do, Dean, in this case? May konting leverage pero what do you think he should do?
Well, I think if after 6 months hindi maka-out of office, talang automatic na yon. Let the law operate. If maka-out of office for some reason, dapat the government should not cooperate, should not allow the oath taking in an embassy. That is not, di ba, that's a very bad precedent. And mapapahaya lang tayo, papayagan natin at hindi papayagan ng ICC, di ba? So ganun dapat ka-tough si President Marcos. Kasi kung hindi siya ganyan, di ba, then mangyayari yung nangyari sa eleksyon, di ba? And also it doesn't help the people, it doesn't help, di ba, the country when you waffle on these things.
Nakikipag-reconcile siya din eh. Naniniwala ba kayo dun sa offer of reconciliation?
I don't know. Sabi niya, lahat naman daw siya nire-reconcile. Sana mag-peace settlement siya with the NDF. Yun ang totoong reconciliation sa akin. Hanggang ngayon, nasa exploratory talks pa rin sila. More than a year na, di ba? Yun ang time na reconciliation. This one, between the families, parang imposible na yan. Parang fight to the death yan, di ba? Fight to the finish na yan. So, that's why he has to show the leadership also kasi malaki ang stake nila din.
And then very quickly, Dean, before we let you go, what are your views on the impeachment after the midterms? Is it looking shaky for the administration at this point, or you don't see it that way?
Well, challenging. But again, if the president shows leadership, diba? And the House presents a really good case, then no. I mean, at the beginning of the Corona impeachment, Pinoy didn't seem to have the numbers also. Diba? I couldn't imagine, honestly, Enrile,
Is
Revilla, Estrada, Jinggoy voting for impeachment, di ba? Voting for conviction. But they found a way to convince them, maybe to DAP, maybe to other means, but na-convince naman nila yung enough na ano, di ba? Na naiwan na lang na, di ba, naiwan na lang si Bong, I think Bong and
William.
and Arroyo
Joker.
and
Miriam.
only three were left, di ba? But at the beginning, hindi yun But President Aquino showed a lot of leadership. I mean, may criticism din about that, pero importante yun if you want something done to show leadership.
Tama naman. Well, here's hoping the president takes that advice. We're going to have to leave that there for now. Thank you so much for your time and insights today, lawyer and activist and constitutionalist, Dean Tony La Viña. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Please be well.
Ingat po.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Dean.